Welcome back to your weekly yoga practice. I'm so glad you're here. Last week, I alluded a little bit to completing the stress cycle. So, when we feel stress in our body, we have a cycle that we actually have to work through and complete. And if we don't go through that cycle, we're inevitably going to be storing the stress. And where do we store the stress? We store it in our body, and it shows up as tension, chronic pain, fatigue, irritability. So it shows up in these different ways that we may not read or understand as the body's language of, hey, there's some extra stress in here and we need to discharge it. So today we'll move through rather a yoga practice, pausing in some stronger postures to feel what our body is doing physiologically and how to kind of start to sense moving through it. So when we feel stress in our body, we need to get it out of our body. This is something you maybe have heard me say before in a different class or in a conversation of like, I just need to get this out of my body. And that can look like talking to a friend, can look like going for a run or doing yoga, going for a walk out in nature. We need to move the emotion through our body, but we have to feel it too. So what's happening when you feel scared or frightened that something, worrisome is going to happen? We have a student in class today who had a Facebook scam and has people potentially showing up to her house today for items that she did not post for sale. And in my own body, I can feel some fear of what could that be like today? And she has a choice today in class and all week as she's dealing with this to push it away and pretend like, oh, nope, this isn't a big deal. This is just what happens and I'm not going to look at this. I'm just going to get through it. Or she can pause for a moment and feel in her body what is happening. What are the sensations happening in the body and tune into those. So sometimes our sensations, our feelings are kind of like 2-year-olds. And when a 2-year-old is having a tantrum or a 2-year-old is hungry or tired, they're displaying some physiological signs. And we, as a parent or a caregiver, are responsible to tend to that. Well, sometimes we can't make the thing that the child wanted happen. And so what do we do? Well, sometimes the child just wants to be looked at, seen. Okay, buddy, like, I know you really wanted this candy and dinner is in an hour, so we're not going to have that right now. But you're seeing the child, and that's a very shortened, abbreviated interaction that I'm sharing there. But the point is, and we'll get to our practice here in just a moment, the point is most of us turn away from our feelings, our emotions. And to complete the stress cycle, we need to turn towards them. If you've had trauma or you've been conditioned to turn away from your sensations, this in itself can be a little intimidating. We don't really want to stay with that, which doesn't really feel very good. So today we're just going to practice. We're just going to give our body just a little taste of sensing into sensations, sensing into stress versus turning away from it. Thanks for hanging in with me for that little bit of intro. Let's come into child's pose and we'll begin our practice today. I suggest you take your knees as wide as the mat with your big toes together. But if you'd like to stretch more into your back, bring your knees together and walk your hands either forward or allow your palms face up and your arms to run alongside your body. So arrive into your practice and set an intention. This intention may be one of your own, a way that you'd like to feel, or it may be to stick with a sensation long enough just to test into this, completing the stress cycle. Begin to take leadership of your breath and deepen your inhale, expand your ribs wide, and exhale completely. Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths like that. See if you can tune into the sensation of your breath in your body. Walk your hands forward and come up into quadricep position or tabletop. Spreading your fingers wide, press down into your mat. Lengthen the crown of your head forward and draw your shoulders down your back. Inhale, lower your belly, arching your lower back. Draw your chest and chin forward for cow. When you're ready with an exhale, push into the floor to arch your back and tuck your chin. Move through these spinal undulations 4 or 5 times at the pace of your breath. Sense into your bone structure here. Imagine you're just your skeletal body moving through these postures. Let's do one more together. And the next time you come to a neutral spine, rest here. Let's thread the needle on the right arm. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Exhale, loop it under your left armpit. Walk your left hand forward. So you can do any shimmying here so that you can feel a nice stretch without a strain. And bring your awareness into your lower belly and sense your breath. What's the feeling tone of your breath? Inhale, walk your left hand under your left shoulder and come out the way you came in. So reach up with the right fingertips. Return to your mat. Left side, when you're ready. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, loop underneath your right armpit this time and walk your right hand forward. As if you're dialing into a radio station. See if you can sense maybe even the temperature of your breath or the location. Walk your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Press firmly in as you extend your arm, fingertips up to the ceiling and return to your mat. Tuck your toes under and press yourself up to downward dog, first down dog of the day. You'll walk your dog. You could sway your hips side to side. And then bend your knees generously and come up onto your tippy toes. Use your exhale to lower your heels towards your mat. They may not make it to the mat. It's not about heels touching. It's about breathing here and sensing into what you're feeling. The mind can step in and want to make meaning of how we're feeling. Inhale, look forward and tippy toe all the way up to your hands into a forward fold. Grab each elbow with the opposite hand. This will add a little weight to your forward fold and bend your knees generously. Release your neck. You could shake your head no here if that feels good, or nod your head yes. Place your hands on your shins. Extend your spine, drawing the crown of your head forward, shoulders back. With your next exhale, let's bend once more. Bend your knees and sit back into your heels. Put the weight of your body in your heels. You could lift all 10 toes. And inhale, reach up into chair pose. Bringing your triceps by your ears. Imagine energy extending out through your fingertips, drawing up from the ground. Inhale, press into the floor to rise up. Let's grab the right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, bend to the left. Press into your right foot here. Create length all the way down to the ground, up through your fingertips. On your next inhale, rise up and switch the cross of your hand. And with an exhale, bend to the right. Again, press into your left foot. Create length. And come back up to center. You could release your hands down. Reach your right arm out to the right and draw it across your body, across your chest. Just a little shoulder stretch here. And press into your feet as if you're going to tear your mat apart right in half. So like right here. It's going to light up your legs. Keep it an active position. Release that down. Maybe a couple arm swings. And then take this on the opposite side. Press down into the earth with your feet. Begin to activate the legs as if you have a resistance band wrapped around your shins or your thighs and you're pressing out against it. And release that down. Let's take a couple arm swings again. Step feet about one leg length distance apart and turn your toes in just slightly. Reach out and up for 5-star. And we're going to hinge from the hips with the exhale. You could bring your fingertips to the mat or a block. Add a gentle bend to your knees here. And breathe. Bend your knees a little bit more. Press into the floor. It's root to rise. Come all the way up. Let's point the right toes out towards the right short edge of your mat. Gonna get a little more active here. Inhale your arms out to a T and bend into your right knee for warrior 2. Have your knee stacked over your ankle. Don't want the knee to come over towards the toes. Turn your pelvis so it's faced forward. Imagine having headlights right from your hip bones. They're pointed in the opposite direction that your knee is. Open your right knee towards the wall behind you. We're going to be here for a moment. So press into the floor to make this active. And just like dialing into a radio station, see if you can tune into just one sensation happening in your body. It could be your right leg shaking. Your arms could be getting heavy. Brighten your chest forward with your inhale. One more breath here. Press into your mat with the right foot to extend your right knee. Face your toes forward. Let's take this on the opposite side. Left toes towards the left short edge. When you're ready, arms out and exhale to bend into your left knee over your ankle. Let's bring the headlights of your hip bones faced forward and turn your gaze over your left middle finger. Notice what's happening within your body. Just anything. Maybe your breath pace has changed. Is your body temperature getting warm? On your next inhale, press into the mat to straighten your leg. Pivot your toes forward and let's hinge from the hips for a forward fold. Few quiet breaths here. With an exhale, walk your fingers over to the right, bending into your right knee. You could use a block here at any setting. Plant your hand or fingertips on the outside of your right foot. And with an inhale, open your left arm up towards the ceiling. 2 breaths here if you can. Notice any sensations, any physiological changes happening right now. Exhale, left hand down, and walk your fingertips to center. Turn your inner thighs back towards the wall behind you as you isometrically pull your feet away from each other. Use your next exhale, the block if you need, to walk over to the left. Your right leg may not be straight. You may keep a bend in your right knee. And then placing your hand, fingertips on a block outside of your left foot. Inhale, right arm up, open. You can turn your gaze down towards the floor if you'd like, or follow your fingers, gazing at your right hand. Exhale, return, and walk your fingers under your nose, forward fold. From here, heel toe your feet in 1 or 2 times so that your feet are wider than your hips. And exhale to sit your hips back for yogi squat. You can bring your elbows between your knees. See if you can brighten your chest. And then exhale, sit back. Right sole of your foot can come into your left inner thigh. And if you'd like to sit up on a block or a blanket, that can be really helpful to get your hips higher than your knees, which can be helpful for a straighter spine. And let's just pause and check in here. How are you feeling? Okay. Reach up, extended over your extended leg. Get long in your spine. Bend your knee generously here, and then exhale, fold over your left leg. Start with a bent knee, and if you'd like to straighten, you can begin to slide your heel forward. With your next inhale, walk up. Turn your torso over your bent knee this time. Take a big inhale. And exhale, walk forward. Use your hands to plant into the ground so that you stay seated in your hips. Breathe into your backside body. On your next inhale, walk yourself up to your seat. Lengthen the right leg this time. And let's bend both knees so that our feet can come to the floor, and walk yourself forward for a forward fold. Coming back up with an inhale. Keep the right leg straight and bring the left foot in. Turn your torso over your extended leg. Keep a nice bend. And exhale to walk forward. Again, tap into any sensations happening in your body and perhaps notice if your mind wants to stay, if it's able to stay with the sensation, if your mind gets distracted quickly. Inhale, walk yourself up to your seat. Turning over your bent knee this time, lengthen your spine. And exhale to forward fold. Use your hands to steady your hips. Do this by pressing down into the earth. We don't need to judge if it's difficult to stay with a sensation or if we haven't been able to sense a sensation at this point. This is a process of training, practice. That's why we call it a yoga practice. Inhale, walk yourself up to a seat. Let's turn onto our backs, coming all the way down. You could start with bent knees and constructive rest. Allow your body to adjust to this new foundation. Relax the muscles of your back. We have been using them. And soften the front side of your body. Extend your left leg long. Draw your right knee towards your chest. As you hug your right knee in towards your chest, see if you can extend your left heel longer. So this is an active posture, and the body is moving in opposite direction. One more full inhale. Exhale, extend the right leg long. Draw left leg in towards your chest. And this time, draw your right heel down away as you hug your left knee in towards your chest. With your next inhale, bring your right knee back towards your chest to hug both knees. Spread your arms out to a T or cactus arms. And with an exhale, lower both knees to the right. Turn your head, your gaze to the left. Winding down our practice now. Inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, allow both knees to fall to the left as you turn your gaze to the right. Use an inhale to come back up to center. Wrap your arms around your shins and draw your head up to your knees. Squeeze. With an exhale, pour out onto your mat into Savasana. You can pull the flesh of your buttocks to the side if you like. Allow yourself to take up as much space as you have and can and want to. I invite you to turn your palms face up. And if that feels like a little too much for your mind, you can always turn the palms down towards the ground. Release any control or conscious leadership over your breath and your thoughts. Let your body be breathed. Right now, there's nothing else to do. Right now, there's nothing to solve or fix. As you rest in Shavasana, see if you can create a blank canvas for your emotions and sensations, allowing them to paint or color in any way, not needing to change it or evaluate or judge. Can you sense how it feels to do less, yet everything that's supposed to happen is still happening? Soften the corners of your eyes and allow your tongue to lay flat at the bottom of your mouth. Let your shoulders get heavy. Release any holding in your hips, your pelvic bowl. And for our last moments of Shavasana, see if you can park your awareness in the sensation of your heels making contact with your mat or the floor or ground beneath you. When your mind wants to wander away, that's okay. Just notice and guide it back to maybe the texture or weight of your heels. As you feel ready, bring gentle leadership back to your breath and movements to your fingers and toes. See if you can keep a still mind and also tune into the micro sensations that you create. You can make them bigger, rolling wrists and ankles, or head side to side. Roll to one side. If you have a choice with your space, roll to your left side and pause. And when you're ready, push yourself up to a seat. Try to do this slowly to keep this peaceful, calm feeling you've created. We'll sit together for a moment. If you'd like, you could close your eyes. Tune in to your body, your breath, and your mind. You could bring your hands to heart center. I hope this kind of tending to your body and your sensations carries you through the week, that you can return time after time. Resilience isn't so much about getting to a sattvic or a peaceful state and staying there. It's what happens when we move away from that peaceful state, that homeostasis hum. And at first, it's about knowing how to get back. And then it becomes about getting back faster. So we're not looking for this perfect, always steady, peaceful, graceful. Things are going to happen in our life that are going to throw us off. And when we can tend to what's happening inside our body, we can return to that peaceful state sooner and faster. It's a skill. It takes time to build. It doesn't happen overnight. And so I encourage you to keep coming back to your yoga practice and tuning in. Thanks for tuning into this yoga practice today. I hope to see you next week.